What's going down, everyone? And if you're here for a patch. And I'm going to give you the notes. You're here for Control. This complete live is going to be the 505 games as well as Remedy Entertainment. Now, one of the cool things that you'll get into with the gameplay that we're going to come into is that there's a lot of things. And now what I wanted to bring up right here, which I have already pulled up before I start hitting play on the background of this, is you can kind of see where the bookshelf case is right there when I kind of bring it up, where it's like you can kind of tell for consoles it's breaking apart. There are parts for this game where it just can't handle the RTX I guess overlay in that situation. And it's a beautiful game, don't get me wrong. I love the freaking game. Like, for me, Control, and I just beat it. Let me hold on real fast. I just gotta bring up my OBS delay one more time to counteract what I'm doing. But I beat it, and like I have my own theory of like where it's going. I'm not gonna go into the spoilers because we're here for the update. And 1.03 is going to be about roughly a little under a gigabyte, but it's going to be a quick and fast download. More than likely, it didn't take me long at all. But looking at where I was wanting to break down what you can do just in case you were wanting to get into the patch, you can very easily get to this patch. What you need to do is go ahead and get back to your either Xbox or PlayStation controller, and then get it down to your patch. The majority of these you just check for your update and it should go into it. Mine automatically updated. I just was like, okay, cool. Then you can check your update history. So right there, directly right, it tells me that it fixed the font for the Arabic, Chinese, Korean, and Russian languages in 1.03, but added variations, fixes for performance as well as bug fixes. Now, performance issues were definitely needed, and I already knew that when you had anytime you had loaded in, the game itself would kind of stutter. Like, it would literally be about 4 to 5 seconds where you would kind of get like this whole thing. I've noticed controller drift. There's been like, see what else was there. Definitely where it's like a target to direct impact. Like, there's been object type points where you throw something and it goes completely through them, and it's not just like a dodge. It's like you literally watch them go through, and where it's like it pushes them back, but then nothing happens to them. So it's like, okay, they were directly affected by that piece, and as well as the ones where it just kind of goes through them and ghosts. So it's like, it's very interesting. Like, I love the game. The lore is beautiful. But there's more than meets the eye with just this. This isn't just the patch note. We're gonna dive into this very well. So with that being said, what I have directly over here is, well, 505. And this is just directly their Twitter. Now you can kind of see there was a lot of cool stuff. I figured I might not bring up a little bit of the showcases. I thought this was pretty cool art on the situation. Like someone showing off some pretty cool stuff on their looks like Da Vinci, I'm assuming they're for palette, but I didn't find too much anything past that. But I did find, which I thought was a lot of cooler in a situation. And now stay tuned, I'm going to show a really cool bug that happened at the end of my game. I literally beat the game and then I got a bug that, well, you'll have to like stay tuned to find out what happened when I got that bug at the end of the game. It was very crazy. But these are the patch notes that we're going to get into, but luckily I got them from here, which was really cool. So I mean, like, one of the things that I would like to think, I would say, is the majority of times that I get these patch notes, they're more than likely centered around the idea that, well, they're given to me through other gamers, or they're given to me through the portion of just people through Reddit, and that means where the other gamers are, people speaking out, and other community members that are a part of these developing teams that are speaking out. So it's like, when you go to Twitter, and it's very rare that you find this where they directly have patched it, and they have their own link right there, which I conveniently linked down in the actual description. But let's go ahead and go diving in. Now, what they basically say that they are thrilled to give us this September on the PlayStation 4, since it launched. Now, to the Xbox One and the PC players, do not panic, this update is heading to you very soon. So we got a little bit, I guess, of the testing ground, and that's probably because there was a lot more issues, maybe. Considering that this game was developed on like more of a Microsoft kind of friendly, and Epic Games does hold the title for a year in order to play this on an RTX title, which I don't really want to do personally myself, but I want to play the game in an RTX. I feel like a lot of the issues that were inside of this game would have been like more enjoyable to the atmosphere of playing it for the first time. But like I mean, I don't hate it. I really love the game again. Like, but like going back to like where our patches, not getting too romanticized inside of this, let's go ahead and zoom in inside of this situation so we can all get a really good look. So with the performance boosts and what they basically generally did, which was a very good general fix. So what they basically have, and that they have submitted for bug fixing, which you can do if you go to the direct link of the Control, which I've linked down below, which just is their webpage. You can follow up through them. The general bugs and fixes in the missions and the combats and the overall gameplay, very nice. A lot of those were basically what I talked about in the very beginning that I was experiencing myself. Now, with past that and the situation of what we've gotten into for as far as the funner portions of the multiple issues on the PC launchers, which are related to the DX11 and DX12 crashes, and again, these are going to be coming to you very soon. This is just a September update broad point, but the PlayStation did get it today, which was earlier in the portion of the Pacific Standard Time around like 5 o'clock. But the performance of what we basically came into the title stability on the just general portion, which I like. So that means they probably down-tuned a little bit because it was running way too hot on consoles in general points. Now, I don't know, it's about too much with PC. Again, I'm basically want to pick it up, but like maybe if Epic runs it on sale really well, I might, maybe. But I would prefer to buy it on Steam myself. But that's just because I have a really cool archive there. I don't know. I just like buying stuff there. But that's besides the point. That's my preference, not anyone else's. And sometimes I like Amazon. It just depends on what mood I'm in and what game I want. But the point that I'm being is that we're getting into the improvements in general frame rate performance through the optimization made to multiple systems and the content. And that was probably showed at cases in the very beginning when I showed where you could see anytime that you had like reflective rails, anything that was reflective, where the RTX technology would have been an integration into the situation in the overlays where they were trying to make it adaptable for a console that really, I don't feel like this game was really meant for this console or any console. I feel like, you know, yeah, you could do it, but this game's very advanced for like the, I guess, software that would be inputting into their hardware of yesterday, I suppose, nowadays as we approach the newer generation of systems and pending release in next year. But the UI improvements in the map loading times, yes, nice. The maps will no longer tease information. Well, it wasn't really too bad off of that, but let's see here, motion blur off and on is added to the thing. Okay, very nice, because there is a lot of motion blur in that. We might go into just like an actual video of that maybe later on down the road if it showcases something really nice where it actually can be. Film gradient off and on, I've never really been a big fan of the film gradient. I usually see that off, but the motion blur might work if it doesn't be able to fix the performance stability with the just frame rate in general. Like, we actually have some issues with that. We can try that out. But fix the incorrect UI behavior with the wide angle monitor PCs. It seems like that, and again, that will be coming up very soon, more than likely the next few days. So just stay tuned, keep trying to refresh, and more than likely, if you keep tuned to your dialed up ISP, you will hit that update. But fix the multiple issues where incorrect subtitles are shown in multiple languages, which they kind of showcased in the last update and in this update. And then fix the issues when the game centers of the aim on Jesse's head. That's very correct. That was another one that I totally forgot, but that's happened to me a lot of times that I talked about during the episodes of 1 through 15 that I did, where you basically, when you would toggle over, and I really love how games have the right and left switch, because me being ambidextrous, it makes me feel a little bit more agile with being able to pick my tactical point of going either left or right style on like the aim bar. So it's like when you would like mess with that and then pull out your weapon, you would go dead center, so you wouldn't see the aim of the center, you would just see the back of her head and no enemy, and you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of a blind side. I guess they're thinking that you had the mind's eye to see through freaking Jesse Faden as you be fading into death. as your health be tripping off, but that's besides the point. I'm glad that they actually addressed that hella early. And I knew that they took a little bit longer, about 2 weeks, in order to address this, and this was a pretty decent update for under a gig, so I kind of trust that this is actually good patchwork. Now, they might need a few more extra, but again, they do tease the point in the very beginning to interlude the point. If you want to reach out to them about patchwork and like what issues are, you definitely should. But the issues that we're going past that where they fix multiple UI related issues, and a lot of those did happen with the map where they would disappear and you had to spin around or go to another area or spawn in, and that's where you got into a lot of weird ass crap that was just there. But as that point goes past, there's the progressions and fixed an issue where the players could not acquire the pierce charging efficiency and the spin grounding efficiency upgrades. So good to know those were issues that were going to be addressed with, and fix the issues with the crafting changes and the personal mods would not give the weapons or the mods and take the materials. Sorry, the boards were greedy. That's a really honest answer. I like that little subtext. That's funny. Fix the issue that prevented the players acting Pierce from upgrading. That happened to me. I was wondering what would happen. That's cool. I can actually upgrade that and go back live eventually and be able to actually push forward with that, because I love that weapon. That weapon's beast. I feel like that's probably the best weapon on there, and I would love to stack stuff on there, but I only had one. So you're fixing an issue where Jesse is unable to cleanse the, let's see here, trend coordinate south control point upon returning to the prime candidate program area in the mission that face of the enemy. Wow, there was a lot of like good work done in this patch. Fixed an issue where the see here, Hepson stall would not spawn during certain story events like old friends. Oh, that's why it crashed. No wonder. Okay, that's making sense. Wow, they were really like elaborate on that, like that detail. Like, cause like for me, that's exactly the way it happened. So good for them for being really forthright. I like this gaming company. Remedy is a great way to kind of like just remedy your way for it. It's kind of like No Man's Sky. They give you a lot of information. I feel like they give you too much information. In fact, I'm going to say this hearty why, and you'll know what I mean if you watch any of the patch notes I have, but Sean Murray tends to milk out the clock when it comes down to patch notes. But it's all good. Like they give good stuff. But moving on past this, because I want to keep this under about 15 minutes as we get towards the tail end of it. It seems like what they fixed in the situation of that, they fixed the issue of the hiss barrier remaining in the direct override mission control room if the players die during the blind cutscene. Oh no. And we're gonna get towards the end of where my cutscene definitely did not work out really well. But as we can see in the situation that I have pulled up right over here, and the issues that center around the licensing of the music tracks that played the enable mute copyright tracks option. That's sweet. So now I can replay this and stream this. I like how they just did that. That honestly, for a streamer, gaming companies need to give us that option, because I like to showcase stuff, but at the same time I don't want to have to go back and have to re-edit stuff or have to wait as things like trend and like lose out on opportunities. It's kind of annoying, but like you just kind of get around it. You learn like what certainly sounds like a copyright. It's unique, you know. It's more theatrical. But fixed an issue where the audio is out of sync in the Darlings videos in PS4. So specifically in ours, and I noticed that sometimes I thought they were going for like a very like old school like dubbed video, but I guess it wasn't. I just didn't know what to expect from this game. It was like honestly probably one of those things where you're just like, I don't know if that's what they're intending or if that's just something that's like not messed up. But it's the allure of not knowing in this game, the mystery, kind of like Lost. It's the journey of. But the miscellaneous has fixed the issues where the charging weapon in the form of the blast radius caused way too much visual damage to the environment. No! Damn it! That would have been so much cooler. There could have been like Michael Bay everywhere in this damn thing, ray tracing and abilities. Maybe that's what they had to do because the cards were like catching fire. No, NVIDIA. No. Anyways, because that's not specifically on PS4, so I don't assume that's PC. But all PC humor aside, has fixed an issue where the game would stall when completing a story mission and unlocking the trophies. Yeah, that would happen to me, like sometimes, honestly, and that's where basically where I'm gonna go right back to what I wanted to show at the very end of the episode, which we are going to show right now, is what I was getting at in the situation that, like, in the very end, what I ended up doing, and like this is basically what it came into gameplay, as you can see right here as I'm here, is I got the trophy, right? And I'm just like, oh hey, this is cool. What's gonna happen, right? Just chilling there. Chilling. You think that there would be like an ending, right? No? Then this happens. So yeah, the game's not perfect. And like, I'm glad that they added a lot of performance fixes and the way that they were going about certain things, which was really cool. But I'm hoping that in the ultimate end, what ends up happening is that this game gets pretty good. I guess clout and a portionable point that gets I want this game to get really popular, but at the same time I don't want that, like the end of it was just my PlayStation remote. Hold on real fast. That thing took a tumble. Thank goodness it didn't go too far. But it's like I would hate for this game to be swept underneath the scenes due to, you know, a 1 year copyright point of like just like a PC point on just Epic Games. So it's like I don't see what the point was of that, but I see it's all about this. But I think gaming's all about this. It's not about this, but somehow the circular turf way happened to it. But real gamers know that it's all about having fun. But getting down to the very tail end of the video, thank you so much for spending some time with the network. And if you're new, you can always subscribe for absolutely free, which is pretty cool. And if you do, at this point in time, I will be able to, well, turn into an almighty locomotive train. Kind of like almost like Megatron. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like that would be like super energy efficient. I want to be a solar like locomotive. I want to be like steam. I feel like steam is just too hot. Doesn't make sense. And you know, the inside could just be lithium batteries. And see, I'm getting all outside of my head. I guess you can call me Thomas now. But besides that choo-choo train idea of hilarity, what I'm going to say is thank you so much for spending some time, and I'll see you guys and gals in the near future for more updates on Control. So you can always subscribe to that, and I have a ton of how-to videos on like all the puzzles that came into this game, which I very much liked. I mean, this, like I said, this game was really good. It makes me continuously think about it. Nati, that guy. I don't want to ruin anything. Yeah. Just let that sink in.